Hi and welcome back to the channel. I certainly wasn't planning on making this video last week when I made my Gil Scott-Heron video about Pieces of a Man, which seems to have gone down well. And I mean, it is an amazing album, as I said. And funnily enough, since last week, both myself and my wife have listened to it maybe 6 times. We've made some changes to the system, hi-fi system, over the last week, and that was just it was the last thing we were listening to before making the changes, so we listened to it over and over and over and over and over again. And it is an incredible album, an absolute masterpiece. And anyway, that was what, 5 days ago. I think it's actually Thursday today. But yesterday I went down to my local record shop, Raves in the Grave, and they were going through their mail, their incoming, and basically they were looking through this week's new releases, and lo and behold, they had this. Now, I did not know that this was coming. I had no idea whatsoever. And as I say, today's Thursday. So this isn't actually officially released until tomorrow. So thank you very much, Raves in the Grave. Hope they don't get in trouble over this, but they let me have a copy early. So this is being filmed a day before release. So here we go. As I said, no plan in this, and don't if you don't like Gil Scott-Heron, don't fear that every review from here on in is going to be Gil Scott-Heron. I think this is probably going to be it for quite some time. But, what the heck? Things unfold as they do. And, much to my surprise, there is a new Gil Scott-Heron release this week. And as I say, this is coming out tomorrow. Double LP on transparent green vinyl. Gil Scott-Heron and his Amnesia Express. The Amnesia Express, or his Amnesia Express, is the name of his band, his touring band that he had in the early 80s. Which is Vernon James on flute and soprano sax, Ron Holloway on tenor sax, Alonzo Bailey on trumpet and flugelhorn, Glenn Turner on the piano, Ed Brady on bass, Kenny Powell on drums, and Lawrence McDonald on percussion. Now, this was recorded live at the Schauberg Theatre in Bremen, Germany, on April the 18th, 1983. And the title of the album is Legend is in His Own Mind. And, obviously, as we've just discussed, it's a live album, and it's a double live album at that. Now, let me just pull the vinyl out, just so you know, these are the inners that it comes with, which are just plain, no poly lining, so we don't want to use those. It's not a gatefold, so this isn't a luxurious, fantastic, gorgeous release in that respect. It's a nice cover, it's well made, and it is actually big enough to fit 2 LPs in, but it's a double LP in a single kind of non-gatefold cover. And the vinyl, as I've already mentioned, is transparent green. And if you've seen my record cleaning videos, part 2, or maybe part 2, part 3, I haven't posted these yet. I have recorded parts of them, and you may realise that, as with all new records, I've cleaned this, and this one had a special treat. It got cleaned on my Lorry Craft, and then it got cleaned on the Humming Guru. So it's had two cleans. And anyway, what can I tell you about this record? Well, for starters, as I say, it's a live album. It's recorded in Germany in 1983. Let's talk about the track listing first of all. We Almost Lost Detroit, Angola, Louisiana, 3 Miles Down. That's the A-side. B-side is B-Movie, a nearly 18-minute version of that, and A Legend in His Own Mind. Now, B-Movie is probably the first Gil Scott-Heron track I ever heard, I think. I think it was recorded in 1980, 81, around about that time. Side C, Winter in America, Shut 'Em Down, Washington DC, and then side D, The Bottle, which was another quite big hit of his, a 14-minute version of that, and Johannesburg. Now, some of these songs appear quite long, but I would say that this is, like probably the best live albums in my opinion. When you put this on, it really does feel like you're at this gig, because there's a lot of chit chat between the songs. Right from the start, he starts up and introduces. Well, it didn't half make me laugh. I can't remember his exact words, but it's saying like, for those of you who haven't seen me before, I'm Miles Davis. He's just joking, obviously. He does then introduce himself as Gil Scott-Heron, but he's just having fun. And there's a lot of, sort of chatting to the audience and speech and audience participation going on between the songs. So that's why some of these appear so long. But honestly, you listen to it and it sounds very, very, very real, very, very, very much like you're there. The main elements are, of course, Gil's voice, very deep, husky, beautiful voice, and that beautiful kind of creamy, sort of Technicolor, almost oversaturated electric piano sound. Absolutely beautiful. And I won't go on too long. I mean, we've just had a Gil Scott-Heron review, so this one's just thrown in because it is a hot new release released today. This cost me £25 for 2 records, which I think is a bargain. The sound is really good. It's got a slightly kind of oversaturated sort of, you can hear here and there where the recording quality, if you like, is slightly sort of oversaturated. But that just gives it more realism in my book. It's light, it's open, it's spacious. You get the feeling of the space. You get the feeling of a wonderful, gifted, prophetic artist performing live. £25 to go and see or hear a Gil Scott-Heron concert. I genuinely can't say more than that. It's on top of everything I said about him last week. And if you haven't seen last week's video, put a link up here. Please do check it out, because that is his best album in my opinion. But this is it's almost like it's a best of in terms of its track listing. But it's a beautifully live feeling, and especially with all the chit chat and his audience interaction, you really get to feel that you're with the guy, and that's a rare and beautiful and very special thing. So Gil Scott-Heron and his Amnesia Express, legend in his own mind, released Friday I think it's 18th of August 2023. Absolutely, utterly fabulous. Go out and buy it. And on that note, I'll say cheerio. And as I alluded to earlier, there's if I haven't already put them up, I will be doing the next 2 or 3 videos. Probably will be continuing my journey into the world of record cleaning, where I really look into the ultrasonic cavitation side of record cleaning. So on that note, I'll say cheerio. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.